Hey, welcome y'all. I'm Ben Pryor. I'm the senior producer at KST. We are going to be checking in with Staycee Pearl in a moment. Ooh, okay, PearlArts Studios has joined, and now I can do a little thing where I invite PearlArts Studios to join PearlArts Studios. This is my first time going live. I did a test live. Ta-da! We did it!
We did it! We did it! I can't believe it.
That's so exciting.
I know.
I want to put this, it's not going to, is it going to stay? I wanted to set up my stage, but this is my first one, so I haven't set up my
like
for
your
this.
Background.
You know,
Nice.
we have to consider our backgrounds.
So you have to be like Joe Hall. He knows what to do with his background.
We can't. I know this. I have some plants. I have my little prosperity kit. My little prosperity kit.
I have a window.
Woo! What's up, Stacey? Your hair is looking very orange.
It's very orange, right?
Was that a quarantine project?
Yes, exactly. It's my second orange hair.
Oh, in quarantine or in life?
Both.
Okay.
The other one wasn't as orange. I just went brighter. The other one was a big afro. Yeah, I can't help myself.
Okay, well, hello, folks. Now that we're all here again, I'm going to say hello again. That I am Ben Pryor. I'm the senior producer at KST. We are joined by Staycee Pearl, who is a choreographer in Pittsburgh, a choreographer and more.
Hi, guys.
This is checking in artists from around the world. Which is going to be a weekly little thing here on Instagram, or let's see what happens as COVID continues, where we log on with an artist and talk about that artist and their practice, and I think in both the moment of COVID and also just not the moment of, I want to know who you are before this and beyond this. And so, maybe we'll dive in. I want to start with can you just tell us a little bit about yourself? Kind of like maybe a little bit of personal biography that also goes, where'd you grow up? Where were you born? Where'd you grow up?
Right.
And maybe a little bit of the influence into how you became the you that you are.
What am I hearing? This is weird. I'm sorry. There's something going on my computer that I can hear that I don't want to hear. I'm going to try to turn it off. I was born in New Haven, Connecticut, actually. And I haven't been back there since I was a little person.
Stacey.
Yes. And we also lived in Amherst, Mass, because my parents were educators, and my mother was getting her PhD in Amherst after we lived in stores. And I started gymnastics when I was, I don't know, when we moved to Maryland. My mother finished her PhD in Maryland, and I was a gymnast there, and then I learned about dance when my first year in high school, when this woman came to my school and gave a workshop in dance, kind of like what we do all the time now. And it was instantly that I realized I wasn't interested in the neck breaking tricks of gymnastics. What I wanted to do was actually dance, and that's when I realized it. And what she did was modern dance. She had studied with Joyce Tressler back in her days in New York. And so I spent 1 year studying with her, and then I went off to UArts, which was then called Philadelphia College of Performing Arts.
Okay.
I was there for maybe a year, and then I was I gotta get to New York. I was just a wild, crazy kid, and I couldn't wait to get to New York.
Yeah.
And I spent a good amount of time, honestly, partying in the clubs.
In New York?
In New York, when I got there.
New York?
Huh?
When were you in New York? What year?
You're gonna make me date myself.
I want to know.
It was
I need a for difference.
No, it's fine. It was, so I got there in 88.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, it was a long time ago.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
I
yeah.
stayed there. I stayed there through 90-ish.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, and then I left and came back in 96.
Okay.
But I think I was gone like between 94 and 96.
Okay.
And then I was there until 2001 is when I came to Pittsburgh for the first time.
Cool. Okay. Yeah, that's great. My real knowledge of New York, I feel like starts in the late 90s. Though I grew up on Long Island. I was like always kind of around, but in like around 96 is when I can really like start to identify the city differently. Okay, so Pittsburgh in 2001.
2001, yeah.
Okay.
It seems like so long ago now, but I got here, and I don't, some people know this, some people don't, that I came here because I had a kidney disorder that had blown into kidney disease, kidney disorder, kidney disease, and then failure. So my kidneys had failed by 2000, and I had a really dear friend who was here doing her residency, and she insisted I come. So I came here to stay with her for a while. And my intent was to go back to New York or to go out to LA, one or the other. And I ended up staying because I met my husband, and I ended up getting a kidney. And then I realized Pittsburgh was not a bad place to, you know, chill out, hang out, and get well. And I ended up getting a transplant in 2001.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And, you know, fast forward, that transplant is actually just recently given out on me. So we're dealing with that again. But so I ended up working for Expressions Contemporary Dance Company as the artistic director when Norman Jean Barnes left. Okay. And I did that for about 6 years. And after that, I went back to school for art, and then immediately came out of that in 2009 and started Staycee Pearl Dance Project. And that, and now it's Staycee Pearl Dance Project and Soy Sos. But it was with Jamie Murphy, and I were like, okay, she had a bunch of folks that wanted to dance that were at Point Park. And I was like, I can find some space, no problem. And we'll just get together and see what happens. And as you know, we were the resident company for the KST the next year through like about 3 years. Like, so yeah, about 2000 and then 2009 through 2012-ish. We were the resident dance company. And that's where we really were able to like hone our aesthetic and really make some decisions about what kind of operation we wanted to run. And after being there, yeah, it was great. We were able to find space on our own and start PearlArts Studios.
Amazing. Now
we're in the middle of the pandemic, and Herman and I are home, and we go to the studio every once in a while, but it's just us.
Yeah.
And that's that. Like, that's basically where we are.
Sure. Can you say a little bit more about like sort of when you made the company and sort of it became into itself? Can you talk about kind of the work that you all make and sort of what drives it in a maybe a more general sense?
Sure. So when we started it, the goal for me was to like continue to make work as I was doing with Expressions. Definitely like representing Black women and just Blackness in general, and being inclusive as well, but also to like speak on social issues and be entertaining and just bring beauty into the world in a way that maybe some people weren't used to seeing. That was kind of like, but I also wanted to make work because it was in a selfish way, I just enjoyed creating, and I didn't want to have a company where I had to create something every single year. You know, I didn't want to feel like I had to like be on this roller coaster of like production. I wanted to be able to you know, create as we wanted and take as long with the project as we wanted and take as short of time as we wanted. So I feel like we've done that for the most part. It's kind of fallen into a rhythm of like every 2 years we premiere something. Okay. And then we do commissions for other companies as well.
Right.
So yeah, and then we started doing stuff in the studio as far as workshops, and we were. It was a long time before we committed to doing like a school, like having classes and stuff like that. But eventually, we did
Right.
do all that stuff and doing some outreach.
Because, yeah, so do you want to maybe take a minute to sort of describe the full scope of PearlArts Studios and kind of the things that y'all have set up there in terms of, let's say, you do, I forget what it, what's PearlDiving Residency, is that what it's called?
Yeah, that's one of
Um,
our. Uh-huh.
if you want to sort of say a little bit about what those are.
Yes, PearlDiving Residency was designed to support both local artists and national, international artists, and collaboration, and
Mm,
also multimedia works. So not every work is, does something more than dance, but a lot of times people use different technologies along with their work. But we lean towards it because that's pretty much what we do. So wanted to support artists that were like in collaboration in the way that we were.
yeah.
And it's been very successful. We'd like to find artists outside of, like, a lot of our artists come from New York, a lot of our national artists. We've had a couple of international folks come in.
Yeah.
But we have been trying to, and Joseph Hall was helped us to curate it as well. We did a
Right.
lot of research, like Midwest, and just weren't able to capture that group yet. But we're going to try again once we bring it up again. But every round, we had 2 rounds a year, and every round had both a local artist that got a stipend, a really nice stipend, and some time in the studio. And it's over a month. So there was plenty of time over the month to be experimental and take some risk. And there would be a showcase at the end, but it wasn't mandatory that you did a showcase.
Okay.
However, everyone did do a showcase. We did like 2, 4, 6, 8, about 8 rounds, and everyone did some sort of showcase. Also, there's a component that takes you into the community or brings the community into the studio. And then also getting to know some of the other curators and venues around town. Like, we did a collaboration with the Kelly-Strayhorn, with Shamel Pitts when he was here. We've had them hang out with people like Kalola Luckett, and Janice Burley Wilson has helped us out. So, but then also a lot of artists have come together, like artists at Boom have come together with Lisa and a couple other artists that we've had in town. So it's been great, and we've put it on hold. But we are going to definitely bring it back, probably like a little transition session, and then afterwards we'll come back full force.
Cool. Yeah. And you all, you did a festival this past summer, which I can't remember if that was like the first time that PearlArts had done a festival, or if that's been an ongoing thing, or.
No, that was our first one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do we get to look forward to more of those?
Most definitely. We're looking for a partner, but yes, we definitely want to do it again. We're looking at 2001, fall of 2001 is when we like to come back. 2021, yes. I said 2001. Okay.
We got 20 more years to that brain.
I got pandemic brain.
And so I want to ask you, we're just about to have a commissioned work premiere that got derailed because of the whole COVID situation. I forget if it was with exactly which company.
Pittsburgh Ballet Theater.
Right, and this was like, if I'm not mistaken, this was like the first work being commissioned by a Black female choreographer. Is that right?
We think so. We haven't made it.
Did I make that up?
No, you didn't make that up.
I don't mean to be spreading rumors. I'm new in town.
No, you're fine. You are fine. That's what we understand.
Sure. Is there more that you can say about the piece that you were making, and tell us a little bit something about that? I'd be curious to know. Yeah, anything you'd want to share.
of course, I'm disappointed that we didn't get to show it to the world. Um,
And
we're
what's
hoping.
the status of that? Has any sort of thinking been solidified around maybe showing it at some other time, or like not showing it, or
No, I'm pretty sure that there will be a show. I don't know, honestly,
yeah,
and I
sure,
haven't heard anything because I don't think they know either. Nobody
sure,
knows.
yeah. No,
Nobody
it's the
knows.
same. I mean, it's the same for me. Like you could ask me that question, I'd be like, "Oh, I don't know. Like what? We don't know what we're doing. We're trying to figure it out with our program, but we have no idea what when things will shift.
Right.
So yeah.
I'm responding to.
Hey y'all. Hey Esther. Um, but yeah, so tell us what were you working with like a lot of dancers? Is there anything you can say about it?
Uh, let's see. Now, well, I started out working with about 19 dancers,
Wow, okay.
and then somewhere in the middle of the process, or closer to the end of the process, I decided I wanted to only have half that many dancers.
Oh wow.
So we ended up with two casts,
Oh wow, okay.
replicas. A couple people um, will be in both casts, but mostly just split down the middle.
Cool.
And I learned a lot. Like it was fun. It was what can I tell you about it? I don't know. I just wish you guys can see it. I don't want to say a whole lot about it. You know what I mean? Like
Sure, sure.
um yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was interesting to like, so I'm so used to working with my dancers who, we share the same brain now. I don't have
Sure.
to say much anymore.
Mm,
Um, and I certainly don't have to get up and show a whole lot of anything anymore
okay.
either. But you know, working with other dancers for the first time with a shorter amount of time and
Hmm.
having to convey like all the things that I don't usually have to say was a little challenging at first. But then we figured out a method and we got them used to the style of it, and I got used to their style, and ultimately I think we're good, but we'll see when we get back in the studio. And
Sure. Because you made everything with them. You weren't like working with your own dancers and then bringing in material. It was just kind of all created with the Pittsburgh Ballet Theater.
well, I did actually, just to save time, I worked out some things with my dancers
Okay.
and then brought those phrases in
Sure.
to, yeah. But as far as putting it together, that all had to happen in real
Yeah.
time with the dancers.
How much time did you have to make it?
I had, let's see, I think we started in October,
Okay.
and just like, we had a couple of full weeks, like every other day or something like that for a couple of
Sure.
weeks. So I should have added up all the time, and I think I will, but maybe, I don't know, maybe a total of 40 hours,
Okay.
maybe.
Sure.
But my time was nice and spread out. So I had
Okay.
time to think about things because they were doing a million other things at the same time. And the
Yeah.
premiere was was supposed to be March 20th.
Right.
So we had we had we had Nutcracker off. So that was most of November and December. But
Okay.
other than that, I
Wow.
probably had more time than everybody else.
Was that very different from your own process with your own company in terms of how long you'd spend making on something? Like, and also how long was the piece that you made?
The piece was 18 minutes long.
Okay.
And yeah, so most of the work that we do is evening length work.
Yeah.
And we take a good 2 years to create the work.
Sure.
Like,
Okay.
you
Yeah.
know what I
So,
mean? Like on and off. We've been, like, say we've been working on circles. We started working on that right before the festival. We showed maybe 10 minutes of it at the festival. And by the time we left for Europe in December, we had a half hour of it done. And we
okay.
planned to have the whole hour finished by, again, 2021. um, so yeah, so I get all that time to
Mm.
process with our company,
Yeah.
uh, but with and that's how I prefer to work. Like
Yeah. Sure.
obviously it's
Yeah.
just a lot.
Take the,
The product is
yeah.
very different that way.
Yeah. So I'm wondering if you can talk about how, like, the impact of the whole COVID situation on your
Mhm.
company, your artistic practice, and kind of how that's shifted things. Because I imagine it's put everything on hold.
Everything we had planned, including the premiere, and we had a couple trips planned. All of it's on hold. On hold or canceled completely. Some of our teaching gigs were canceled.
Canceled. Not even going to try to reschedule.
Yeah, I mean, I think some of the teaching stuff will just wait until next year. I don't think they're coming back this year. But so that same week we were just off on the 16th. We just ended up just not going in, and we haven't been in. And we've been doing things like a little bit of online stuff, but we also were thinking that we just obviously need a pause. Like everything needs a pause. So we're trying not to like add too much noise to what's already going on social media. There are a lot of classes available. There are a lot of things to see and to watch. But so we do have a class that comes out on Wednesdays.
Okay.
Just try it out just to see. We have all 4 dancers are going to do something, and we'll see how we feel about it after that, if we continue or not. And then we check in with each other on Mondays and via like a Zoom. And on Wednesdays via text. And I think we're supposed to do Fridays too, but we'll see.
Have y'all lost all sorts of money because of all these gigs and things?
We've lost some money, but I'm keeping them on salary as best I can. Our season's up in June, so usually last year we didn't lay off, in the year before because we had so much work. This year we actually we're gonna end our season in June. We were anyway. So there probably will have to be layoffs in June.
Is that a part of your standard practice though? Because I know dance companies with contracted employees is like such a rare thing in today's world. But I feel like for a while in New York, for those companies that were operating on that basis, there was kind of a, I wish I kind of knew more about this because this is sort of hearsay under stuff I heard from older colleagues once upon a time about sort of almost working the unemployment system, or I don't know, I mean, that's maybe unfair for me to say, but it was kind of a practice that like people would be on contract for X amount of time and then would get laid off and collect unemployment and then go back on contract, or, there was some sort of, like, it was almost a strategy, I feel like.
It was.
Yeah. And I don't know
if that's was.
You guys think about how you work with people, or?
No, I mean, so we're still kind of young. So we've not had anyone, I don't officially apply for, like, be laid off and then officially apply, because we've always been like hourly. And now we have a couple of my senior dancers are on salary, and we have admin staff on salary. So, and we've always had work. Like we were away most of the summer before, and then we had the festival this summer, and it just so happened that it made sense to keep them on the entire year. So this would actually be the first year that they could be laid off to collect unemployment, And I feel like I don't want to play that game. Like at the end of the day, I want to keep people on salary and just, even if it means spreading out the money a little bit longer, I think having the consistency is important. And so, and then there's always something that we can do. Like we can have summer programs and stuff like that, though, that aren't the same as, like, say, touring all summer or having a festival to run all summer. But we can also we could also start doing the festival in the summer. So there's a way to make it work year round. And I'd love to make it work year round for more dancers. Like, I'd love to have a bigger company at the end of the day.
Did you see the Artist Relief Fund that was announced yesterday?
Yesterday? No, I didn't see that.
I think so. I haven't, I was seeing people post it, and I didn't really click it at the time, but I think it's called Artist Relief Fund. I'm gonna move my thing so I can look.
I know there was one a while ago, like.
Well, but so this was something that like it's like Creative Capital and the MAP Fund and maybe even Foundation for Contemporary Arts. Though I think Foundation for Contemporary Arts has done their own emergency thing. ARTIST relief. But this one. Mellon Foundation in New York has also gotten really behind, and the intention, artistrelief.org, is this, yeah, here we go. It's artistrelief.org for any artists, you know, out there watching now or later. And basically, the Artist Relief will distribute $5,000 grants to artists facing dire financial emergencies due to COVID-19. Serve as an ongoing informational resource and co-launch the COVID-19 Impact Survey for Artists and Creative Workers, designed by American for the Arts, to better identify and address the needs of artists. So basically, I think that they're giving, I don't see it here, but I thought it was like they were doing like 100 a month or 100 a week, or I can't remember. I need to get my stuff together here about this. But as I was saying, it just came out yesterday, so it's definitely something to look into. Oh, here we go. I clicked the about. Yeah, there was $5 million in seed gift from the Andrew W. Mellon Foundation, matched by $5 million from a number of different foundations, including Warhol, Doris Duke, Ford Foundation. There's a lot. And I want to find that you have to be 21 years or older.
Oh, wow.
I guess I must have seen it in one of my colleagues.
Like Facebook accounts or something.
Yeah, or like someone had posted something that had more of the details, or more of like that. I thought I had seen that it was like 100 for every so often, you know, like, and I don't know if that was a week or if that was a month or what it was, but I know that that's something that's out there that I just want to bring to folks' attention. And like I was saying, I think Foundation for Contemporary Arts just launched something also. We're trying to work those into some of our promotions about things, just, you know, resources for artists to know about locally, making sure they're connected to the sort of national spheres of information that are happening. But
definitely, we want to do the same, actually. So
yeah,
thanks for sharing that.
We'll compare notes afterwards. Cool.
Joseph.
Yes, Joseph has posted the website. Thank you, Joseph.
Thank you, Joseph.
Well, we are a little bit at time. I mean, we could keep talking. We could just kiki. I don't know if it's interesting for folks. But those were sort of my questions. I guess my last things were, if you have any advice to folks in this moment that you want to share, any things you want to say about our present moment.
Yeah, I think what comes to mind right away is take advantage of the pause. See a lot of noise on Instagram, and I understand the impulse to like keep cranking stuff out, but sometimes it's good to like take a breath and sit back and really take account for like what is happening in our world and what you really want to do, and imagine how like this, we don't know what's going to happen next. So I think we just need to clear our brains and take a second. Just take a second.
Yeah.
Fine.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm really looking forward to the Easter holiday, in that there are some days off. I know I'm not a religious person, so it's not about that for me.
Right. Well, enjoy
it's about
days off.
Yeah.
Enjoy them.
Cool. Well, thank you, Stacey. Thank you for checking in with me.
It's been a pleasure.
It's been lovely to chat with you. And keep us posted on PearlArts. I know we will be in touch.
Yes, for sure.
A whole lot more.
Yes.
And stay well, stay healthy, stay home.
Thank you.
Stay sane.
Yes, all of you too. Stay home, stay healthy.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ben.
All right. Well, talk to you later. Bye.
Bye.